Bring your book and come in right away.
Is it all right if I change first?
No, it isn't. Take a letter.
Yes, sir.
Century Pictures Incorporated, Hollywood, California. You rum-dums.
Rum-dums?
Don't I speak distinctly, Baker? R-U-M-D-U...
I have it, Doctor.
Last night I had the misfortune to attend your idiotic picture, Pacific Victory, which you rum-dums have the gall to advertise as a true story of the war.
Oh, Steve and I sort of enjoyed that picture, Doctor.
It was a farce. Your version of the evacuation of medical personnel from that island was pure fiction. You show Lieutenant Cornwall Jones driving a truck full of Navy nurses out of the jungle. That is a lie. That truck was driven by Commander Philip Blake.
You've got a good memory, Doctor. That's been a long time.
Some things you never forget. Trying to make Jones a hero is a travesty, and so is your putrid picture. Sincerely, etc., etc. Type that right up.
Yes, Doctor.
And I want copies sent to all the newspapers in the area.
To the newspaper?
We spent $8 watching that collection of garbage. Now, if they want to make a movie that smells to high heaven, fine. But then their ad should read, "This movie smells to high heaven."
I think you may have a whole new concept for the advertising business, Doctor.
You!
Oh, you!
Oh, Doctor, hello. Sarah Porter. I'm Julia's cousin, remember?
You're unforgettable. Listen, there's nothing wrong with you. It's all in your head. You just think health and beat it. Baker will be back in a second, Mrs. Porter. She just stepped out to mail a special delivery letter for me.
Oh, I do hope she won't tarry. Before luncheon, I wanted to stop in at that new boutique on the plaza with me. Excuse me, Doctor. Would you stand still for just a minute?
Why?
I want to check my makeup. Oh dear, I need lipstick.
Now what?
Oh, nothing, cuz. I was just admiring my reflection. Quel outfit, n'est-ce pas?
Positively positive. If I'd seen that suit before you did, I'd be wearing it. But can't we eat now? I'm starving.
Just as soon as I find the right shoes to match this outfit. Let's try the Choutique first. It's just around the corner.
Then can we eat?
Oh, honestly, cuz I don't know how you can think about anything as trivial as eating all the time.
Well, it's simple, Sarah. It keeps me from thinking about all that money I don't have to spend.
Oh, you.
Oh, Sarah! Look at your slacks.
Oh, no!
Look what you did! My dog! You smashed my dog! My poor dog.
Oh, it's only a China dog.
Only a China dog? An authentic Schmeisen. The last one I needed for my collection. She says, "This is only a China dog."
Oh, well, gee, I'm sorry about that. Really, I am, but, well, look at my slacks.
Oh, what a shame. But it's just one of those things. It's nobody's fault, really.
Nobody's fault. She comes galloping around the corner, smashes my dog, nearly kills me. And you say it's nobody's fault?
I did not either come galloping around the corner. We were walking slowly.
You know what this dog cost? $500. You ran into me.
Me? You ran into me. You skinned my knees. You tore my clothes.
Miss Abilene, look where you were walking. This never would have happened.
Why don't you watch where you're walking? It's not my fault.
It's definitely your fault, definitely.
Let's just calm down for a minute, please. Now, I can understand that you're upset, but...
You bet I'm upset. Young lady, let me see your driver's license.
For walking? Cal, insanity.
I don't care if you are French. But you're gonna show me your driver's license.
Oh, you let me see your driver's license first.
Oh, you'll hear from my lawyer about this. That was the last dog extant in California. And now, thanks to you, they're extinct.
Tommy Kirshner's x-rays just arrived, Doctor.
Never mind about that now, Baker. Listen to this. Do you remember that letter I wrote about that rotten movie?
Oh, vividly, yes.
I just now got a letter from that jughead, Corny Jones. He's going to sue me for libel. Look. You'll hear from my lawyers, Chagley. What do you think about that?
I think maybe you shouldn't have written that letter, Doctor.
Anyway, you know how I've been scouring this town looking for a job. Well, today I got a lead on what looks like a very good possibility.
Oh, Steve, that's wonderful.
In San Francisco.
San Francisco. Oh.
It looks like a real hot lead. And, well, it's only an hour's flight from L.A.
Yeah, San Francisco isn't far.
I mean, you know, if I do get the job, I could fly down here weekends, and you could fly up there.
Oh, of course. Steve, this might be the chance of a lifetime for you. And no matter what happens, I know it'll be... Oh, now, who could that be?
Well, there's only one way to find out, honey.
Okay.
Julia, we got a high, Steve. Real crisis.
We have?
Oh, we sure do. Do you know that... Oh, say, I'm not interrupting anything between you two, am I?
Not anymore. Why don't you sit down and tell us all about it?
In that case, I'll sit down and tell you all about it. And am I glad you're here, Steve? I know you'll know what to do because this is right up your alley.
What is?
Yeah, Sarah, get right to the point.
Do you remember that nut with the dog who knocked me down and ruined my suit? Well, you won't believe it, but
He's suing you.
do you believe it?
He is?
How'd you hear about it?
Well, never mind.
Well, I can't believe it. That clown is suing me for $5,000.
$5,000? He said that little dog was only worth $500.
I know. The rest is for mental anguish, nervous prostration, and whiplash.
Whiplash.
Oh, Sarah, that's ridiculous.
I agree. And that's exactly what you'll tell the judge, cuz...
I'll tell the judge.
Well, after all, you're my star witness, aren't you? That's mostly because she's the only witness.
Steve, what do you think?
Well, I'm sure your lawyer will tell you that the thing for you to do now is to file a countersuit against this man.
A countersuit? You mean he's suing Sarah, so Sarah sues him?
Right.
What a terrific idea. You're brilliant. Between us, we'll fight this thing all the way to the Supreme Court if we have to. Who knows, this could even become one of those landslide cases you're always reading about.
I think you mean landmark cases.
You're the expert, Counselor Bruce. And how about representing me?
Thanks, but I think you'd better let your husband's attorney handle this. Considering Clyde's position, it could become expensive.
Clyde. Oh, how am I ever going to explain this to him? The notoriety, the publicity, the controversy, the tax problems. Cal anguish.
Sarah, aren't you getting a little carried away? After all, it isn't as though you murdered somebody.
No, but when Clyde finds out about it, he might kill me.
And I guess that's really the whole story, Miss Anderson.
Yeah. Well, that's substantially the way Mrs. Porter told it to me.
I'm sorry you had to come down here on your lunch hour.
Oh, I'm glad to do it, Mrs. Baker. This is just preliminary, of course. We'll go over your testimony carefully before the trial next week. As Mr. Porter's attorney, he and I are very concerned that this whole case be handled as simply as possible. He doesn't want your cousin to get any more...
Carried away.
Good phrase. She does have a slight tendency to overdramatize things, you know.
Oh, I know.
Well, naturally, we tried to settle out of court, but this Mr. Crocker seems to relish the idea of a trial even more than your cousin does.
That is too bad.
Not for lawyers, it isn't, Mrs. Baker. Well, I'll see you in court, as we like to say.
Who was that?
Sarah's lawyer. She's going to court next week on that charge from...
Lawyers. I just spent an hour and a half lunch with mine.
Oh, your libel suit. Yeah, how will you come out? What did he say?
My attorney, that scintillating gem of the legal profession, he says, A, I shouldn't have written that letter, and B, I'm in big trouble.
Oh, dear.
For which joyful news, he stuck me with a $12 lunch check.
Clinic Baker. Oh, hi, Steve. Yes, what is it?
And the San Francisco thing didn't work out, but they referred me to a job down here, and I started work today.
Oh, Steve, that's marvelous.
As a matter of fact, I've already been assigned to a case.
Already?
There's just one thing, Julia. I don't think you're gonna like this.
Won't like what?
Well, this is the darndest coincidence. I mean, you wouldn't believe this could happen, but, you know what my first case is?
Don't tell me. Let me guess. Your first case is Jones versus Chegley, right?
Never heard of it.
Ah. Well, so much for women's intuition.
No, my first case is Mr. Arthur Crocker versus Mrs. Clyde Porter.
Sarah? You mean you're on the other side? Oh, no kidding. Oh, that is something, isn't it?
There wasn't a thing I could do about it, Julia. I couldn't turn it down because...
Of course not, of course not. I wouldn't want you to. It's a funny situation, but I'm just so glad you have a job here at home. Oh.
You're not angry with me?
Angry with you? Why would I be angry with you?
Oh, I was afraid maybe, well, you know, I'd be up there in court fighting for Mr. Crocker.
I know that, but you're a lawyer, Steve, and I'm very proud of it. And a lawyer should always give his client the best defense possible. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Julia, thanks.
Now hold it. Do you think your client would approve of his lawyer kissing the star witness for the other side?
Well, if he doesn't, I'll appeal it clear to the Supreme Court.
Very well, Counselor. You may proceed.